Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you again, family and friends, for joining me at What Else? Maria loves to talk. And no, we're not talking about perfume or fragrances or Bath and Body candles or Aldi candles, but I will be talking about Aldi's in my next video when I'm talking about food, groceries, and it's just so high, you guys. So what this video will be about, missing people, missing young men. I cannot believe, as I said in my previous video, how many young men, grown, healthy, able-bodied men are just coming up missing. It's really weird. I don't know. I mean, is Jason getting these people? Freddy Krueger? Or they just went on a road trip and forgot to call back home to mama? I don't know. So hey, if this is something you're interested in, you have some comments, you have your little Sherlock Holmes detective hat on, Nancy Drew hat on, please, I need the comments, I need the help. So get you some snacks and let's get into Maria Loves to Talk, and please do not forget to click like and subscribe. So the first two that I will be talking about will be Daniel Robinson went missing in Arizona. I want to say New Mexico, but it was Arizona. And Jason Landry went missing. So I think, well, it was in Texas, but I think it's around San Marcos or San Angelo, Texas. So those are the first two. So it will be four. And you know I'm long-winded, so I will be trying to talk pretty fast to get through all this. Okay, so with Daniel Robinson, a young geologist, young man, families from, I want to say South America, from South Carolina. Now, I just recently saw his father on, it's a husband and wife detective team, or they have a podcast, not detective team, they have a show, and I want to say it's How Robinson. They also have a great website. It's called pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. And again, remember, as I stated, I remember seeing his story on another site, and I can't believe this young man is still missing. So a little information here right quick about Daniel. 24, recently just got out of college. Last seen June the 23rd, at a work site in Buckeye, Arizona. Someone said, whoever he was working with, I don't know if this is a guy from his company, said that he was looking or acting strange, and all he remembered was his shoe was untied, and that he got in his SUV and just waved and said, "Hey man, bye," basically, you know, "I'm out of here." And that he does not believe this young man that's saying this. I think the young man from the other geology company is Kevin or Sam Elliott. Okay, so getting back to please help find Daniel. And Daniel could be any one of our sons, nephews, godkids, foster child, next door neighbor's friend, your best friend's child. So here they're giving history about Daniel, about his family. They have videos. So here it starts off. Daniel Robinson was last seen in the morning of June the 23rd, 2021, leaving his work site in Buckeye, Arizona. He was driving a 2017 blue Jeep Renegade, headed west in desert terrain. I've never been to Arizona. I don't know much about it. So here they say, on Tuesday, July the 19th, 2021, Daniel's vehicle was found by a rancher. Okay, so he went missing June the 23rd. Car found July the 19th, so a little over a month. It was found by a rancher a little over 2.5 miles from the worksite in a remote part of the desert. When I think about the desert, I think about weird animals, wild pigs, rattlesnakes, mountain lions or something, maybe, I don't know. So they said on that day, the rancher reported the vehicle to Buckeye Police Department, who later did a search by ground and drone. The vehicle was recovered. Daniel was not found. That's strange. Okay, so here they go on to say, Daniel was passionate, adventure. He loved to travel. Also, something else, Daniel, one of his arm, it looked like at first I didn't realize until they mentioned one of his arm is shorter than the other. So he has some distinct features that if someone was to have found him or seen him over there in Buckeye or Tempe, Arizona, they would have known him. So what could have happened to a healthy, able-bodied young man? Okay, so here I'm reading on AZ Central. Okay, so here they're saying, this is probably where I saw a missing person center site. The day Robinson was reported missing by his father, police searched the ground near his job site, and he was entered into the missing person center. The hired investigator who used to be a police officer. Now, of course, you know, I'm those that went on Reddit, and Reddit had a whole bunch of web sleuths, armchair detectives, and a lot of people were saying they didn't agree with the detective that the private investigator, the dad had hired, that they didn't agree with some of the stuff that he found, that they felt that he was trying, I gotta get this man saying, he was trying to make a name for himself, blah, blah, blah. They also, I think the father had mentioned there was a young lady named Caitlin that his son had met because he had started doing Uber Eats or DoorDash, or was it Instacart. And this young lady name is Caitlin or Catlin. So right now we have 3 suspects, allegedly. Caitlin, the young woman that he befriended when he went to deliver food. She invited him in. Now, when I heard the daddy tell these people that, my little antenna went up, because I've had people deliver stuff to my house. I had a family friend had some food and a couple cases of water, and a guy wanted to come in and bring it in. I was like, no, you know, I don't need you to, because at that time my man and my little nephew, they wasn't here. And I'm like, that's okay, I got it. Those people are not supposed to, I know this, you guys, they're not supposed to come into your house. So when he said that the young lady invited his son into her home and they hung out and whatever, and then from there on he had some kind of weird crush on this little girl. And when they asked the dad about it, he played it off and said, oh no, it's not what it is. It's you know, it's not what it is. That's not true. Okay, so here, this one is from Insider. So here, this is from they keep calling this guy a co-worker. He is not this dude's he's not his co-worker. So here it says, when Robinson arrived at work at 9 a.m. on June 23rd, he met with Kenneth, a co-worker. This guy is the one, his name is Elliot. So he's telling the police that Daniel was acting strangely. He was acting weird. He goes on to tell police he was saying things that did not make sense. He wanted to go, he said he wanted to go back to Phoenix to rest. And about 15 minutes of this, he said he waved goodbye and he just left the work site, and that was it. So then Kenneth go on to say he contacted somebody named Steve, who's the project manager, and he said that they didn't hear or see or hear anything from Daniel. That's weird. So then around 3 p.m., Kenneth says he goes around. He says Kenneth was made aware that Robinson had not been located and was not responding to texts and calls from work and family. So at that point, Ken started to look for Robinson in the desert. Ken followed the tire tracks, he said, were Robinson's near the work site where Robinson was last seen. Heading west, he tried to locate Robinson and he drove further, extremely large desert, blah, blah, blah. Now, what's so weird is that the other night, I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was thinking about this case too hard, and the number 933 came to me. I don't know what 933, I don't know if it's an address or maybe it was the exact time that this young man left or disappeared or whatever happened. Remember the father when he was on high. The dad is saying that it shows he checked his son's social media on June the 24th and confirmed to the police that all of the photos on his son's Instagram have been deleted. That's weird. Most young people 24, they're heavily into social media. So June the 24th, he or someone did. I mean, like, who did? Who? Why? Okay, so further down it says, and that is suspicious. I don't know if maybe he did it himself, or maybe he's trying to run away. Maybe life is too stressful, maybe too much pressure put on him. So here they say family and friends reported odd behavior in the weeks leading up to his disappearance. And I hate to say it, but the daddy, when he was on that show, he was like dismissing it. So here they're saying, according to multiple police report, multiple Robinson's friends and family members and a waitress at even the waitress at Waffle Houses get involved. He visited 2 days before he disappeared. They reported odd behavior leading up to his disappearance, saying being off. On the same day, he had texted his sister and said that he had an emergency but neglected to answer any of her calls in response. Now I remember seeing that because they said that she got scared and she ran out there to meet him. So Robinson's sister said also one time he went to her apartment and sat in silence for 30 minutes before getting up and leaving. Okay. His dad told police that in the weeks heading up to his disappearance, Robinson had told him that he had met a woman and was in love with her. Robinson, the dad, found this strange since his son didn't appear to know anything about this woman. This is the young woman named Caitlin. When she invited him into the home, when he delivered the Instacart or whatever it was, I believe they said she was showing him Eckhart Tolle, the writer, I forgot what they call the writer, showing some information, and then she reported that he was showing up to her apartment, just showing up any old odd times and calling, and that she got scared and told him, hey, don't come around here, don't show up, I don't want to see you anymore, I don't have those type of feelings, for him. So, okay, that's strange. So the whole thing is just strange. Okay, so here when the police found his car on July the 19th, and this is even stranger, they said cell phone, wallet, keys, and clothes were all found in his car. Also, the dad mentioned when he was on that podcast that the guy Kenneth said that he had some red paint and he was painting rocks, and they found some kind of red paint on Daniel's car, SUV. So that's weird in itself too. So here someone is saying, and I think this is the private investigator the daddy hired. He said this looked like a stage event to me, said accident reconstructionist and private investigator Jeff McGrath told NBC 12. After the airbags came out, somebody turned that ignition on, turned it over at least 46 times. There's an additional 11 miles on the car. So that tells me that the car was driven around after the crash. That is weird. That is some really strange stuff. Okay, so then they say later a human skull was found. So making a long story short, they have found 4 human remains in that area with the father doing his search looking for his son. They have found supposedly 4 remains. And I know when I saw the father on the podcast, he was talking about he's trying to get some type of drone, an expensive drone. And I saw they had, I don't know if it's a GoFundMe page, but so far they've raised, looks like about $300,000. And I'm thinking, what has this, I don't remember the name of the company that Daniel was working for, but they would have drones. Did they offer any money? Did they offer to search? Did they, are they giving the father any drones? That's where you would get a drone, would be from a geology company. What are they doing? So here they're saying the family has offered a $10,000 reward for information that helps to find Robinson. They have also set up a GoFundMe that has amassed nearly $130,000. It's more than that because I saw it the other day. It went up. And then he said something here. David Robinson said he wished his son's case got as much as a national attention as Gabby Petito. Okay, so he's saying that he feels like he's been let down, that he hasn't received the help that his family need. And as I stated in the previous missing people stories, a lot of these families feel that way because from what I'm looking at, a lot of them are not getting the same coverage. And I know people keep saying, well, Gabby, she had this big following on Instagram, on YouTube. There's other people that had followings too. So I don't know. I'm the type of person, I'm trying to figure how could this have been avoided? What happened? Is it Caitlin? To me, with most of these cases, the person has to have a motive. Who would have a motive to get rid of a young 24-year-old college kid, nerdy kid, just down home fun kid? Who? Caitlin, the girl that befriended him and then she turned on him and said, hey, you know, don't come around here, you're acting like a little lost puppy. The Kenneth, the guy just met him first time, he works for a different company. I think they said he's a water pump technician. Someone said on Reddit, well, maybe did these two guys, did they get in a fight? Did they get in an argument over something? I mean, how could they get in a fight or argument if I'm just meeting you for the first time? I'm working for a different company and you working for, what are we fighting about that I would, you know, delete you? I guess that's the word everybody's using. The rancher, he's the third person, you know, in this whodunit. What could the rancher get out of it? What would be his motive? Talking about ranchers, I know that like with farmers, they go out and they check their land, you know, on a regular to see how the animals, the herd, what's not, is anybody dumping anything. So I don't see how the rancher could be involved in this. You know, I think that he was regularly checking his area, and then when he came across this, he contacted the police. I mean, what could he have got out of it? Why would, someone leave the wallet, money, his computer? I think it was the computer for the job. Someone said, well, was he working on some top secret, you know, something for his job? Is the job, do they have government contracts? Is it some kind of secret CIA stuff? I think the dad told one of the ladies that yes, the young man did smoke marijuana. He was in Arizona. Who don't smoke marijuana? That his son wouldn't have done this on a work day or a work night. He's not that type of person. I would tell the dad, I'm pretty sure, you know, he wouldn't be watching my video. I would tell him to take that, not all of it, take a couple hundreds of it and go and see and get, not that I'm saying I believe in stuff like that, but there are some people out there who are mediums, who are good, who are honest, and take that money and don't tell him who he is or what this young man's name is, and give him a shirt or a picture or something that belongs to his son and get a reading. That's what I would suggest. That's what I would tell him to do, because you can go and get all these drones that you want, and you can offer all these rewards that you want, but you're gonna need something more concrete. Somebody's going to have to. He needs something more concrete. So that's what I would tell the father, because this is just too weird. I mean, even if a mountain lion did get this boy in the daytime, in the morning, I don't see animals being out that rogue in the morning. And they didn't mention here about his clothes. They said the clothes had been folded, or he could have been possibly wandering around without his clothes on. So that's another thing, you know. This whole thing is just weird. It's strange, and it's scary, you guys. And then Halloween is gonna be here in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's scary. Robinson is saying here, I'm not leaving, says David. I'm not leaving until I find my son. I know I saw somewhere where he has left, and I think he's an army man. He's been in the army, so he's a military man, and he's a smart man. So he left South Carolina, and he's moved to Arizona, living in his son's apartment for a whole year now, trying to find out where his son, and he has a lot of good people out there supporting him. So I saw that the people were there supporting him, showing love, trying to go out on a regular in those ATVs looking for this young man. So that's good. The community, they are out there supporting him and showing love. It's just weird. It's just strange that I'm just stuck on stupid right now. I'm stuck on stupid. I'm stuck on, you've got a young man. He's not selling drugs. He's not out here hoodlumming or thuggery or doing Ponzi schemes. He's not, running guns. He's not human trafficking. He is going to work. Had a second job. Didn't have to have a second. Had a second job. And boom, just, thin air, just missing. And it's a small town. I know Buckeye or wherever this, Buckeye or Tempe. I know it's not big like New York City. I know it's not big like Dallas. I know it's not big like Los Angeles. Most of everybody probably know everybody. So what could have happened? Two things came to me also besides the number 933. I had the word Arkansas. Thinking Arkansas was something else, and I thought, okay, and I looked up, I don't know if it was a street, and I'm thinking one of the things, and I didn't see the dad mention to the people he was on the podcast, have they checked all the waterways? I know he said that someone told him that they believe there's some monasteries that maybe his son went and signed up and went and he's living in a monastery. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the people are looking at the news and they'll be like, hey, isn't that guy, his daddy, Mr. David's looking for him? Also, I'm thinking, like in the previous stories I just did, where the lady, remember Lillian Max in Alabama, just turned off her cell phone and disappeared, told the people she was going to Atlanta and didn't go there. Saying here that he told her, I love you. And I guess, hey, if I was a young girl and I'm just meeting a dude and I haven't known you for like 2 or 3 days, it would probably freak me out too. So here's it's saying that he began sending her texts, I love you, and I couldn't stop thinking about you. The final text she received from Robinson read, the world can get better, but I'll have to take all the time I can, or we can, whatever, to name it. I'll either see you again. Now this is creepy. I'll either see you again or never see you again. Okay, are y'all listening? I'll either see you again or never see you again. Okay, Caitlin says she believed Daniel was very nice, and she and her female friend asked Daniel if he wanted to hang out with them. The police report said Caitlin said she and her female friend were drunk. Okay. Okay. And that looking back on it, she couldn't have, she should have uninvited a stranger into her home. Caitlin believed Robinson was harmless as he only had one arm and was short in height. Okay, I need to read it to you again. I need to read it to you again. Okay, Caitlin is saying that she should have never invited him, a stranger, into her home. And then she says she believed Daniel was harmless as he only had one arm and short in height. Okay. And y'all know I've been doing these missing persons, dating, gone horror things. And let's say Daniel wasn't a good guy. Let's say that he was a serial killer or Jason or Freddy Krueger. You just invited someone into your home. You don't know what he's about. Then then they listen to the Eckhart Tolle, and I'd like to know more about the Eckhart Tolle that they was listening to. So then they listen to Eckhart Tolle, and then, I don't know if it sent him into some kind of, I don't know. So all we can do, family and friends, is pray for this family, and pray for your sons, your husbands, because, hey, I'm seeing a lot of people, husbands, boyfriends, go out to the store to get whatever, some milk, and they don't come back, or their kid goes to the football game with his girlfriend and neither one of them come back. So, hey,